So we're just about 2.5 weeks ahead of the curtain rising in the historic, unprecedented $1.6 billion Dominion lawsuit against Fox News. And we are today hearing from the former producer turned whistleblower at the red-hot center of this case for the very first time. Abby Grossberg was a producer at Fox News who, in a dramatic plot twist, announced she was suing her former employee, alleging, among other things, that Fox lawyers tried to position her, not the Murdochs, not the primetime anchors, but her, to take the fall for Fox's repeated airing of conspiracy theories and lies about Dominion voting systems by doing this, quote, coaching her in a coercive and intimidating manner before her deposition. We should share that Fox News has called Grossberg's claims, quote, patently false. But now Grossberg is speaking out in an NBC News exclusive with my colleague Cynthia McFadden. Watch.
In the course of a couple of weeks after the election, Sidney Powell and Rudy Giuliani appeared 4 times on the show that you were producing. Do you think that any of what they said added to what eventually happened on January 6th?
It took me a long time to connect those dots. I don't think that we'll ever quite know that for sure, but I do know that Rudy Giuliani and Sidney Powell gave Fox viewers and the American people false hope that this election could be overturned.
It wasn't just giving them false hope that they could overturn the outcome. It was also saying that the election had been rigged. I mean, that's what they were essentially saying over and over again. The election had been rigged.
I almost don't, looking back on it, think it's so much about politics as it is about a major corporation programming for ratings that they don't necessarily understand impact people's emotions and get them upset and get them outraged to where they want to take action. And that's a great, great responsibility that's not being considered.
It's an unbelievable window into Fox News, right? And as you just heard, Grossberg says it took her, quote, a long time to connect those dots between the conspiracy theories peddled by Rudy Giuliani and Sidney Powell on Fox News and the brutality and death and bloodshed we all witnessed on January 6th. But based on newly public emails, Dominion shook loose during the discovery process, some of which we shared with you on this program yesterday. It appears that someone else was connecting the dots more quickly. And that's Rupert Murdoch. This is an email from January 20th, 21, from Rupert Murdoch to his son Lachlan Murdoch and Fox CEO Suzanne Scott. It says this, quote, Trump insisting on the election being stolen and convincing 25% of Americans was a huge disservice to the country. Pretty much a crime, all caps. Pretty much a crime. Inevitable, it blew up on January 6th. Best we don't mention his name unless essential, and certainly don't support him. Pretty much a crime? What? Inevitable that it blew up on January 6th? Wow. Joining us now, NBC News senior investigative and legal correspondent, the woman who conducted that fantastic interview, Cynthia McFadden. She sat down for that exclusive interview with former Fox News producer Abby Grossberg. Also joining us, longtime constitutional scholar, law professor at Harvard. Our friend Lawrence Tribe is also here. Cynthia, take me through this stunning conversation.
Well, you know, part of this is about whether they were putting things on the air. I mean, the lawsuit, the Dominion suit really is banked on. Did Fox knowingly put on the air this slanderous, untrue material? Did they know or should they have known? And one of the fascinating things that Grossberg said to me, I asked her, I mean, come on, you're putting these people on the air day after day saying this stuff. What did Fox want you to do about fact-checking? Let me read to you what she said to me. I received a text message from my boss saying, you can let Maria Bartiromo, who was the host of the show, know there will be no fact-checking today. She can do what she wants. Go wild. So,
oh my God,
I find that, you know, stunning. And she in her conversation, she says, listen, we did not investigate whether what these two were saying was true. But we were doing this because we believe this is what our bosses wanted, at least in her case. She says, I believe this is what my bosses wanted.
Cynthia, she doesn't deny them, I mean, to the point of what you just read, being in receipt of multiple communications about the fact that what those people were saying on her show, the show she produced, was not true.
No, she says that she was essentially the only staff person on the show. She was not the executive producer. There was not an executive producer. She was the senior producer, and it was essentially she and Maria doing the show. She said, yeah, she got a lot of emails from Dominion. She didn't read all of them. She acknowledges that. Listen, journalistic practice 101 would suggest that this was not a good position to be in. When I challenged her about this, she says that she didn't feel she had any choice, that to keep her job, she just had to keep putting the stuff on television, regardless of whether she was able to determine whether it was true or false.
The whole conversation is amazing. Cynthia McFadden, thank you so much for joining us to talk about it. You can see more of Cynthia's interview with former Fox producer turned whistleblower Abby Grossberg tonight on NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt. Lawrence Tribe. I am not a lawyer. I feel like if I could go back and do my life again, I would go to law school so I could cover the Trump era better. But my understanding is that all of these communications in the record and all of this acknowledgement of receiving the fact checks and all of this written communications from Fox's own editorial hub, the Brain Room, that's a really damaging set of legal facts for Fox News in this case.
Damaging puts it mildly. You would obviously do very well in law school. I think law schools could,
I'm coming.
They could learn a lot from you. You know, when Abby Grossberg says that she got the signal that perhaps they didn't want fact checking, we know that because in the unredacted material that came out, I think just yesterday, Suzanne Scott, the CEO of Fox, said when she saw something as terrible as fact-checking going on, this has got to stop now. It's hurting our bottom line. This has got to stop. So just as you quoted Rupert Murdoch saying that he basically knew that it was pretty much a crime, the big lie about the election having been stolen, we know that the CEO of Fox was fully aware that they were putting out false information. Alternative facts would be a kind way of putting it. The standard that the Supreme Court set, and I don't think you would need to go to law school to learn this because it's now very well known across the spectrum. The standard is if you are guilty of reckless or knowing falsehood that injures the reputation of something like Dominion or of any other public company or public figure, then you are liable. Reckless or knowing falsehood is written on every page of the material in this case. And if I were Judge Davis presiding over this case, I would give very serious consideration to granting summary judgment to Dominion. That is to say, there is no genuine dispute about whether Fox and the people who ran it knew that they were putting out lies. Let's move to the damages phase. He may or may not do that, but this is as strong a case as I have seen in 50 years of studying constitutional law and the First Amendment, as strong a case as I have ever seen for ruling in favor of the plaintiff based on just what we already know and what has been admitted by the defendant.